What's going on, man?
Woohoo! Welcome everybody to the Global Music Match first week of sharing 96 artists around the world. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I feel so blessed today to have Sean Ardoin on the call with me, a fourth generation Zydeco Creole rock and soul musician, two-time Grammy nominated, powerful spirit, amazing singer, been going at it for a long time, and just feel lucky to share you with my people. So how are you doing today, Sean?
Man, I'm doing awesome, and I'm so glad to be here with you, man.
I've been I've just been really loving listening to your tunes the last week. Um, it's such a surprise. I didn't know who I'd be in a group with, and
Right,
so
right.
so just like opening um, came through the door pulling, which everybody I'll share that with you this week. Um, just I was just sat there and it was just like power, like 100%, 100% proof spirit, and
Yeah.
just so musical, and your voice is amazing, and that bridge which goes to like a hip hop flavor.
And
So
that, and that was me. That was me rapping too, man.
I loved it. I loved it. Um, so to start off, is there anything you want to share at the beginning of the call with folk who maybe haven't heard your music yet?
I created a new genre, but I'm fourth generation Creole musician, right? So Amade Ardoin was one of the first people to record Cajun or Creole music, and the majority of Cajun and Creole music is based on his songs. Their repertoire is based on his songs. So I'm fourth generation from that root. I've been playing this for a long time, and I've done the traditional music, and then I did Zydeco. Well, the long and short of it is there's Cajun music, there's Creole music, and there's Zydeco music. Creole and Zydeco music is the music of the black Creoles of Louisiana. Cajun music is the music of the white Cajuns of Louisiana.
Oh,
And Creole and Cajun, obviously because it comes from my ancestor Amide, they sound almost exactly alike. The only difference is the influence of the people that's playing it. So you're going to get the heavy blues, the blues and R&B influence, the soulful singing from the Creoles, and then you'll get the country and folk vibe from the Cajun. You see what I'm saying? Same songs,
right.
different rhythm center, different vibe, right? Then you had Zydeco music, which started in the which Clifton Chenier got credit for creating in the 50s, and that was played with a big piano accordion and the three-row diatonic accordion, and that was mostly shuffles, and mostly R&B and two steps and stuff like that. But it was basically like R&B blues and shuffles and stuff like that, right? But sang in French, in Creole French. And so then somewhere around the early 80s, somewhere around the mid 80s, whenever I was a young person in the music and we were changing the music from what my dad and them did, Zydeco at some point around 94-ish, everything with a black man and accordion became known as Zydeco music,
Hmm.
right? Because it was not the Creole music of the past. It wasn't just two steps and waltzes. It was high energy. It was funky. It was, we incorporated every other, we did what popular music does. Popular music borrows from popular music.
Yeah.
So that was my initiative, at least. I studied and realized that my grandfather and them, while everybody called that traditional, they borrowed from the blues. So why can't I borrow from R&B, hip hop, rock and roll, reggae, rap, rock, all of that? And so I did. I got persecuted for it. But today, all the young people who are playing Zydeco music are doing what I did 30 years ago.
So
And so it actually presents itself for a great time for me to like do what it is that I do, because that's my lane. I created that lane, you know? And so, but it's a weird place because Zydeco music proper has never had a firm foundation in folk music or in Americana music. So we've been kind of like a fringe thing that nobody's known what to do, like a stepchild. Well, that's the black sheep, literally the black sheep. They, well, you know, they're a part of us, but not really, because, you know, they're kind of electric and, you know, but everybody else can be electric but us. That was crazy for me. It's like you can have a rock and roll bluegrass band and they still be considered, you know, folk or Americana, but a Zydeco band, not. And I was like, that's just not right. So I've been fighting for that. I've been getting involved with that. And I performed at the Folk Alliance Festival this year. It was in New Orleans, so it was perfect timing. I performed at Americana Festival this year, so that was perfect timing. So, you know, I've been making inroads to help, because my thing is to be an ambassador for my culture and my music. So I push really hard for us to be able to you know, to have a position, you know, in this industry, because there's a whole industry dedicated to preservation and proliferation of folk musics. And we are a folk music. The difference is, for most folk musics, it's museum music, because the people that created the folk music in the beginning don't support it today.
Wow.
But our music is the most popular music in our region. So that's why it's modern. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I got to fight for that, you know?
It sounds like you're passionate about just really respecting your culture and your ancestry, and then fighting for it to have its rightful place, like its respected
That's it,
place.
man. That is exactly it. You listen well, Grasshopper.
Wow.
You heard it. You heard exactly what I was saying.
Well, that's powerful, and yeah, makes me think a little bit about like Bob Dylan showing up at Newport with an electric guitar and then being booed off the stage, and he's
That is
like,
exactly it.
he's like one of the, you know, he's one of the great writers, and yet people were just shunning him because they weren't ready, right?
But let me tell you why. They shunned him because they're closed-minded. You know what I'm saying? And when I say closed-minded, not in a bad way, closed-minded in practice, right? Not that they're closed-minded in actually working against him, although some people probably did. But they're closed-minded in that they have a small box view. So I'll use this as an example. This is my charger for my thing. So this is all that they think folk music can be. That's it. When in reality, see, you can't even see my hands.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
You see, we should embrace the folk music in its totality, and not try to control and manipulate and force it to be like a like a bonsai tree.
Whoa.
Boom. Yes, there you go. There you go.
Let it be what it is. Yeah.
Let it be what it is. Stop trying to force it to stay small.
Oh my God.
You know? Because think about it. A lot of the songs that people treasure today, there was somebody when it was created saying, "Oh, that's not how you do it." But then that person gets credited with being a creator and an innovator in the music, and he's a stalwart, and you should do it just like he does it. But when he did it, people were pissed off that he did it that way.
Amen. Amen.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you fighting for the realness. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to, man. We got to do it.
It shows. It shows. Yeah.
It's a lonely road, though. Let me let you know that it's a lonely road. It's a lonely road.
Yeah. Who's been with you on the journey?
With me how?
Well, like,
Because people come and go because it's a lonely
right,
road.
right.
My family's been with me, my
Yeah.
wife, my sister, my son, and the people that I call my friends and fans, because I don't just have fans. All my fans are my friends. So my
That's
friends,
beautiful.
yeah, my
That's
friends have been with me.
beautiful.
Yeah, they ride with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that most artists need to really take away from this interview, is that if you're an artist, be who you are, find your tribe, and rock with your tribe. Because if you try to please everybody, you will go crazy and you will be disappointed every day, all day. But your tribe will rock with you, whatever you do, and all you got to do is serve your tribe, and you'll be okay.
Nice. That makes me think of your man with the cool specs and the bald head, Seth Godin. Anyway, he says that. He says, find your tribe, serve your
Yeah, yeah,
tribe. Yeah,
yeah,
cool, cool.
yeah.
Great
I'm
minds,
motivational speak too, so that's why.
great
That's why I get
minds
that
think
from.
alike.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it. What was your musical life like in the home where you grew up?
Oh man, dude. Um, it was beautiful, man. And when I say beautiful, I mean it was beautiful musically because there was always music in the home, like constantly. Like so much so, so much so that when my dad would finish a gig, sometimes on the weekends, the party would come back to the house.
Wow.
Yeah, the party would come back to the house, man, and you would have this this constant. So he would get back like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there'll be music played until like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then people would roll out, and then so there was always music. I grew up in a musical family. I'm fourth generation, so every time we get together at family functions, there's a whole bunch of musicians. We have like 3 or 4 bands, and what's funny is there's levels. There's the casual guys, and there's the serious guys, and but everybody plays together, and we all have fun, you know. So it was constantly music. Um, but my dad actually didn't even want me to play music, which is crazy. Growing up in a musical family, he never encouraged it whatsoever. I went after it, and because like he did my high school, my middle school band, I wanted to be in the band. He's like, I'm not paying for that. If they'll give it to you for free, you can do it. And so I went in there and they gave me an instrument, and I said, well, I'm in the band. He's like, okay. Yeah, man, he never wanted me to play.
Did he change his mind at some point?
You know what? Me and my wife talk about that all the time. I don't know if he changed his mind. He may have just accepted the fact that he can't
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah.
But he can't stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a whole nother story that, we don't need to get into right here.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So I wanted also to say to the listeners that Sean was evacuated because of the hurricane blowing through the Gulf just now. So it's pretty amazing you made it on the interview today amidst evacuation.
Oh yeah,
Um,
man.
what's it like to live in a place where Mother Nature's that strong?
It's normal. People who have snowstorms, it's normal. People who have tornadoes, it's normal. I tell people all the time, it's like, at least with a hurricane, they don't hit every year. And when
Yeah,
they're coming, we know they're coming.
right, right.
So you can choose to stay or choose to go. I chose to go this time because I just don't like being uncomfortable. And if you lose power, you're gonna be uncomfortable. See, because we never left for hurricanes before. Like growing up, when hurricanes would come through, we didn't leave. The only reason we started leaving was because of Katrina. And Katrina, it wasn't the hurricane, it was the levees breaking that caused all the damage. Everybody was fine after the hurricane, but the levees breaking is what destroyed Katrina. And then Rita hit right afterwards, And we left for Rita because of Katrina, because we're like, well, if that was crazy, then we just need to go and we'll just come back and see what's happening. You know, and Rita was bad, but it wasn't like Katrina. Rita was a normal hurricane event. There's flooding that happens, there's wind damage, you know, and if you're not in a safe home, you know, a safe and stable home, then you could potentially die.
Wow.
You know, and so if you live in a trailer or some kind of temporary home, you need to get out of that. But if you live in a home, you should be okay. You might lose some shingles on your roof. You might have some broken windows, but you should be okay, you know, in a hurricane, you know?
Wow. Yeah. Where I come from, we don't have to worry about that. When we'd watch The Wizard of Oz as kids and like see the house blow off, we'd all just be like,
right. But yeah, but
whoa.
That's tornadoes though. That's
okay.
Tornadoes. That's where I am now. I came to Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So the north central part of the country, they have tornadoes, and tornadoes don't give any warning. They just pop up and tear crap up.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, I don't want that kind of life. Oh, look, everything's normal. What?
Yeah. That's it. You came through the door pulling. What were you pulling?
My accordion.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's metaphorical too. You know, I came through pulling fans, pulling business, you know, pulling people in, you know. Like this is like I'm not new to this. I came through the door pulling. I came through the door handling strictly business. So the line is I came through the door pulling, but I say dough. Came through the door pulling, handling strictly business. Well, I came through the door pulling, yeah. Handling my own business. And then I call the bass. Then I call the bass in. He comes in. Boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? And we go to town.
So, it sounds like you were just committed to just making this happen, and you've been like that from day one.
Yeah, man. I thought about that. I thought about that on the way up here because I had a lot of time. I was driving. I thought about that on the way up here, man. I was like, you know, me and my wife were talking about it actually. I was like, you know, my daddy didn't want me to play. But I knew from 5 years old that this was what I was supposed to be doing. And then when I went to college, I realized 2 years in that I'm in college trying to find a career, but I have a family business. And if I just put everything I had into that, a fourth generation family business, that if I put everything into that, all my knowledge, all my resources, all my energy, that could be the thing that sustains me and sets up a legacy for my children's and my kids, you know? Now we hadn't gotten the financial legacy yet, but that's where we are now. And everything keeps coming against it. That's how I know it's going to be big. You know, I've been doing this thing as an indie artist for, 30 years, and I get the Grammy nominations in 2018. And I did that without a manager or a booking agent or a label. I'm the label, the manager, and the agent, right?
Oh my God.
And then I start looking for a representation, and I finally get it at the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020. And then the world shuts down.
Oh my God.
And so I'm flowing, I'm making stuff shake. I'm trying to get it together. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing Zoom concerts. I'm making the pivot and learning how to navigate. I've always navigated the virtual, but I'm navigating it, and I'm trying to master it and establish a presence. And so I understand that content is king. And so I release another CD, right? And guess when it's coming out? Friday.
Yes.
And guess what's coming out on Thursday? The Hurricane. Oh my God. So if you're seeing this and you feel any sort of pity, I am not above the pity plea. Please just digitally cop my CD. Please, 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 because I need it.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the number one way people
The number
watching
one
this?
way you can do it, you can support, is you can go to iTunes, Amazon, wherever you get your music. It'll be available worldwide. And get my new CD or any other CD that you want. Buying it is the best. If you don't buy music, I totally get that, because you don't really have to buy it these days. But if you'll do me a favor, if you don't buy it and get on one of your non-used devices, preferably like your home computer, because you don't get on that because you have a home computer in your hand. So go on your home computer, pick your streaming service, put my album on repeat for a week. Just let it go. Just let it go. Help me out with my streams.
That's beautiful. And you also do speaking as well, motivational speaking. So if people want to follow their
Motivational
passion,
speaking
if
coaching
people,
and coaching and all that. Yeah.
beautiful. So if a musician wants to know how to have a 30-year career, get Grammy nominated, be totally independent, own what they do, then they could get coached by you.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
If you could tell the people at home, like the one thing that has helped you stay the course, what would that be?
Oh, that's okay. So, okay, you're getting into the motivational speaking part of it. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, you have to have a why. You got to know why you're doing what you're doing. If you're doing it as a hobby, fine. Don't take it seriously. Understand that it's just a hobby. So that means you don't get to bitch and complain about it being rough and being hard, because you're not taking it seriously. But if you're taking it seriously, understand that it's going to be rough, it's going to be hard, and that you signed up for a life that is rough and hard. But it is the most rewarding thing ever, because if you're an artist, that means that your breath, that your life's blood is performing and giving people the opportunity to choose to be happy, because you can't make anybody be anything. But you can present them the opportunity and the environment to choose to be happy. And that's what music does. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we've chosen to be, those people who are vehicles of happiness, should you choose to get in and ride. So, that's my advice. If you're going to do this for real, then know that you've got to be all in. And if you're all in, then failure is not an option. Quitting is not an option. You just haven't succeeded yet. You just haven't made it yet. And just in case you think I'm just telling you that, talking outside of my neck, I'm 51 years old. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old. I've been serious about it, like trying to make a serious dent in the industry since I was like 16, 17 years old. You know, I've had breakups. You know, we've broken up the band. Me and my family band, brother and I broke. He quit the band, went a different direction. And so I had to start over. And then I had a thing where my faith, where I feel like, I was asked to stop for a minute. So I've had to start over twice. And through all of that, not playing music was never an option. And when I wasn't playing music, after the spiritual situation where I had to take a pause, I was in a mild state of depression. I realized later, because it's who I am. I can't not play music. I can't not be on stage. I have to be on stage. I have to be playing music and presenting my art and giving people the opportunity to choose to be happy, or whatever emotion I'm trying to emote out of that song, Because like I have a song, and if you look at my shirt, see that?
Thank you. Yeah.
See that? Yeah. So I have a song that I wrote 4 years ago, whenever the police killed a black man, unarmed black man in Baton Rouge, we had a whole bunch of killings like that, where it was like either the police or an individual would kill a black person. There'd be no no justice at all. And so I wrote the song 4 years ago, and I didn't release it because I was nervous, because it was politically, at that time, it was suicide for you to even take that position, even as a black person, because they would crucify you and call you, and just totally flip what you were saying into something negative. So I was worried about it, and then I didn't release it. At the end of the day, I didn't release it. So on May the 9th, after I found out that they had killed Ahmaud Arbery, I was really upset. And then they killed Breonna Taylor, and they killed a guy, a gospel singer in Houston. Like bam, bam, bam. We find out 2 months later about Ahmaud Arbery. They had closed his case. This guy was jogging, and these two people killed him in the streets, and they got away with it until the video came out. So we find out about this on a Monday, Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, the guy in Houston killed. So I'm privy to that knowledge. And then on that Friday, Breonna Taylor gets killed. And they just break into her house, and the boyfriend thinks that somebody's breaking in, so he's shooting and defending, and they kill her, and they just leave. Don't call the ambulance, nothing. They were at the wrong address. Okay. And so I'm just, and as musicians, we're all very, very sensitive to atmospheres. That's what makes us such good songwriters, and that's why we're able to emote situations that we haven't necessarily lived, but we can do that in our performances, right? And so, so I was sitting, and my spirit was like, go now. And I knew exactly what that meant. So I went to my studio, I get in there, I close the door, I put my headphones in. I didn't want to bother my wife. And so I go in and find the song. I re-sing it with this current emotion, right? Because the first one was really raw. But this one was a refined pain, And so I sang it, I remixed it, re-engineered it, remastered it. And then I went and I did a lyric video for it. And so I released that, and people started connecting to it. And a friend of mine said, hey man, today we're visually impaired. You need to do a video for it. So I released the official video for it. I called up a whole bunch of my friends. I got them to do, I did this motion where we do like this, we go. Right? So there's a whole bunch of black men doing that. Because the whole thing is there's implicit bias and 400 years of misinformation about black people. And so generally, as practice, that I don't think people even realize it, but white people generally don't look black people in the eye. And so it was important for me during the course of the video, because a song is the only vehicle in which you can get your point across without people being able to rebut and stop listening. So you have to listen to the song to be able to rebut. And the whole time you're listening, you're looking these black men in the eye, and you're seeing the pain and the disappointment and the frustration. You can see it, And so I let each one of them decide how they wanted to emote that. But it was really cool. And so I did that. And over the course of 2 weeks, the first 2 days, I got like 40,000, 50,000 views. And over the course of 2 weeks, I got up to about right at 100,000 views. And then it kind of stalled. And I was like, well, I think it should still be seen. And then last week, they started killing us again. Well, first of all, they never stopped killing us, but they started killing us again last week. So unfortunately, I think this song is going to be living way past that first moment. So it's called What Do You See by Sean Ardoin. You can go on YouTube and see it. If this is on Facebook, just go to my page, Sean Ardoin. It's the one with the logo, with the yellow glasses, the outline of my head with yellow glasses. You can go to my page and search it. It's the one with the images on it. There's a video, there's a lyric one and a actual video with images. Watch the one with the images. and see it. Yeah, man, it's pretty powerful. I'm pretty blessed to be the vehicle that got that message out there. Hate the fact that we still have to get that message out there, but hey, it's all good. We're here.
Thank you, Sean. And yeah, I appreciate you just sharing everything you just did and that song and the video. Yeah. And so, do you feel like sad and like you just want to keep raising consciousness and keep making the people you can happy and just keep being brave and doing your thing, making a positive difference?
Yeah, that's it, man. You know, as in our genre, Zydeco, which I didn't even get to that. I created a new genre called Creole rock and soul. So, and I did that so that I can you know, be a creative. I'm always gonna come from my Creole foundation, but I want to be able to grow the music, because when you're green, you're growing, and when you're ripe, you rot. And I don't ever want my culture or my music to die. And unfortunately, like I talked earlier about that little box, there's some people who will, to the detriment of the industry, keep it in a box until it's no longer, you know, viable, you know? So I always fight for that. So I created a new genre called Creole rock and soul. And I do the palatable to get people to come to get the authentic and the local, you know. But we don't generally, in my genre, we don't generally tackle social issues. So for me to do that steps out of the norm. You know, I didn't even have an accordion in that. That was just me singing, me being a songwriter and an artist. You know, that was just a song by a guy. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm really inspired by just listening to you and the honesty and the activism and the humility in what you're doing and the courage it's taken to just keep this thing on the road. So just thank you for everything you're doing to bring the culture forward. And I'm just really impressed by everything I've heard and seen. And I so want to collab with you. Really want to collab. So
hey man, it's not impossible. We're already connected, so that's easy.
That's it. That's it.
You know, it's about sowing seed, man. On my new album, I have Kat Dyson, who was in Prince's band for a while.
Yeah, and I was hearing Prince in what you do as well.
Of course you do, because he's an influence.
That's it.
You know, Earth, Wind and Fire, Kiss, Take Six. I mean, you know, all the punk rock I listen to, all the reggae I listen to, Steel Pulse. You know, Chicago, the Eagles. You know, all the new wave stuff I listened to in the '80s. All the, you know, I mean, you know, I'm a '70s and '80s child, man. But I grew up listening to before I became able to choose my own music. You know, my parents was children of the '60s, so all that soul music, you know, all the Jimi Hendrix, all the, you know, I mean, look, I'm a product of my environment, and my musical environment is rich, you know. And then I get to go to these folk festivals growing up, you know, the Smithsonian Industry Folk Festival, the one in West Virginia. I forgot the name of it; it escapes me now, but it's like, you know, where I'm with like the bluegrass people and the you know, all the folk musics of the country, you know. So I've gotten the best of all the worlds, and that always comes through in what I do. So I'm glad you heard it. That means it worked.
It's working. It's really working. So thanks everybody for listening to our conversation. I'm going to put all the links so you can keep up with what Sean's doing, and it's just so important that we keep the music alive, because the music keeps us alive. So follow, support, let's make it happen together, keep the real stuff thriving. And thanks so much for your time, Sean.
And yeah, and once the COVID is over, that when I come to your area, you will know who I am. So now you can come and see it, because if you like the music, the live show is way better. Way better.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank
You're
you.
welcome here in Vermont, and you're welcome in Ireland and England, where my family are. So
Yes, indeed. I did a UK tour in 2000. Funny
nice,
story before I go.
great.
Since for your people that are in the UK and Ireland that are going to be listening to this.
Okay.
So I'm used to touring, and when we tour, when we get to wherever we're going, there's whoever brought us there takes us around and brings us, right. So I had booked this myself, and so I get there, and they go, well, go here. This is the where the van's going to be, right. So we get our bags, we go to the place, and it's a car rental at the airport in Heathrow. So we get there, and he goes, well, here's a map to get to the place you're going to. I was like, all right, great. So we get the van, and I go, we get in the van. So now, from my perspective, we're in a van on the wrong side of the van. We have to drive on the wrong side of the road, and it's a stick shift. So I gotta work a standard with my left hand instead of my right hand. And we're on the wrong side of the road in the wrong side of the vehicle. So, but I'm not tripping. This is fun. At this point, it's fun, right? So then we get to the place they tell us we're going, and that's where I get to go to sign the rental car agreement or whatever. And then they go, well, okay, well, here's your map. Here's your next place. And I was like, wait a minute. So then I find out I'm driving everywhere we're going. So the tour is from Scotland to Wales. So I have literally driven from the top to the bottom of the UK.
Yeah, and those roads in Scotland, that's intense to start out on with those.
Dude, we played in Glasgow.
Like those tiny little lanes and stuff. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, by the time we got there, though, I was good, but it's just like, and in Wales, and we stayed in this little hotel, and I forgot, it was a famous place, but I don't remember where it was. And I don't remember what the name of it was, but I took some pictures, and I still look back and remember how just looking at that little river or whatever it was, going over that little bridge at the little hotel right next to it. And the water was so clear, and, I wanted to jump in it, but I can't swim, so I didn't. But the water was the current was really strong. So I was also wise to not do that as well.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful country. It was a beautiful time, but it freaked us out in the beginning because driving, the driving conditions. And then I had to pay for gas, for fuel, for petrol. So it was the same price on the surface of gas in the States, with one exception. It's by the liter and not by the gallon.
Yeah.
So it was like $16 a gallon or something crazy, $10 a gallon, something crazy like that. I was like, I was not financially prepared for this. It was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah. I'm just grateful that in the UK, it's usually 2 hours between gigs rather than like in the States, it can be like 2 days between gigs.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But gas is cheaper, so it's all good.
It's all good. And there's not so many crazy, like, busy roads as in the UK. Sean, I love you, man. Thank you.
Love you too, man. Thank you so much.
Bless you, man. Stay safe.
Back at you, man. Yes, indeed. I'm just believing I'm going to go back to my house, and that tree will have, if it fell in the street and not in my house.
That's it. It's just going to be like an ornament on your lawn. It'll be great.
That's it. That's it. Everything's going to be fine.
Go well, bro.
All right. Take it easy, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, but your microphone is working, so it's louder now. So I can hear you.
Great. Yeah. And your audio is great.
Okay, good, because my I got that old musician ear. I can't hear too good.
Yeah, you've been rocking for a while, right? Like the monitors have to be loud, right? So you can hear everything.
See, you said monitors. Bless your heart. When I started, there were no monitors.
Oh shit!
The speakers were behind us.
Whoa! How did you not get feedback?
I don't know.
I get a little bit of a sniffle now and then. I've always had it.
Do
Like
you
if I eat a certain thing, then I get.
do you eat dairy?
I've had to cut it out, but I
Okay,
used to. Yeah. Do you get
Yeah.
that?
Well, actually, now that I'm older, and I don't eat too much dairy anymore. Whenever I eat like a heavy cream, like a good dessert or something like that, and I'll feel it just dripping in the back of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sucks as a singer, right? It's not nice as a singer.
Yeah, it doesn't help. The way I live, 0 expectation, 0 limitation.
Nice. Yeah, I love it.
I can never be disappointed, and I'm always pleased with the outcome.
Yeah, that's it.